What is up, guys? Welcome to Truth and Transparency. A little love here on a Hump Wednesday afternoon. Hope you guys are doing well. This live is to talk about a couple different things. Mainly wanted to discuss comments in the comment section and kind of answer some of those questions. I know it's hard to get through a lot of those when the chat is doing its thing. So again, welcome to Truth and Transparency, the Idaho 4. Again, all that I ask is that you are kind in chat. Again, we all have opinions, comments, all those good things. They are all welcome as long as they are respectful. Again, welcome to Truth and Transparency. Pretty much the first thing I wanted to talk about was the discussion on Maddie's jacket. Pretty much the only thing I have to say about that is, was Maddie's jacket then present in the home when the police arrived? If that jacket is there, if police want to go ahead and take a gander to see, was that hers? Was that a roommate's? There's going to be, obviously her hair probably on there. If it's not hers, the owner's. Do they have a pet? Yada, yada, yada. I think when the question about Maddie's jacket, as it's been brought up in a bunch of comment sections, is that is truly going to be if that jacket was not present in that house and the police did not come across it, as far as that being brought up. Again, hello to everybody. What's up, Buttercup? Starla, bad girl snatched up a membership. Look at you. Look out. Again, we just got started here. Welcome to Truth and Transparency. Again, so as far as the jacket goes, the discussion there on the jacket, that's going to be if that jacket was not present in that home when the police, went there. I have some, going to give a shout out to True Crime Unraveled, give some credit. I was sent the drone footage that he did. I was sent that last night, and I'm going to go ahead and show that drone footage, and this is from the day one of the investigation. I'm going to get to that. But some other things that I wanted to answer in terms of where is Showalter? The connections to Africa, as his parents have been working and doing missionary work there for years. They travel there for work often. I went ahead and looked at the flights out of Boise. You're going to actually have 3 connections. You're going to travel from Boise to then Seattle, Seattle to then Paris, and then Paris to Nairobi. That's going to be your flight pattern. So if he and his family did, venture off, the FBI, the police, they'd be able to pull footage if they needed to, to verify things and what have you. But ever since 9/11, our airports are locked down. You're not going to be able to get in and out of an airport without being seen. So that's that. Now, I mentioned it last night. classes. The president came out and talked and said, hey guys, guess what? You're allowed to take your classes via remote, via Zoom. But my question is, did you have to write your professors? Did you have to email them and let them know that? And I'm sure that you did. So if and in fact Showalter is enrolled still in the university, there are rumors. It has not been, confirmed nor denied that Showalter got kicked out of a fraternity. That is up there on the chopping block right now. That has not been confirmed or denied by anybody that could do that. But let's talk about, hey, you got neighbors, you got classmates, people know who this kid is. Have you seen him around campus? Have you seen him around his home, his apartment, all those good things? If he has a local hangout, have you seen him there? Things like that. And I'm hoping that people step up, and if they know about him, that all they're doing is, hey, I haven't seen him around. Is that out of the norm? Well, once the president said that you don't have to be here and you could do all your stuff remotely, that kind of gives everybody a, hey, guess what? Like, we don't have to be here, and it's going to be seen as normal. Okay? So, now let's take a look at the fraternities and sororities. I mean, they're being told, because all of them are run by their chapters, and, this is something that's not precedented, and hey, what are we supposed to do? Things like that. So these people are definitely being instructed, hey, we don't want you speaking about this. We don't want rumors to get out there. So please, they're PRing it for these students. And because I keep saying, well, why hasn't anybody come forward to say, well, yeah, that's my boyfriend. Showalter's my boyfriend. Or when it comes to like Ethan, and Xana, hey, I was with them. Hello, I was with them, and or I seen them here at this time. This is where I was. Hey, I took a picture with them. But my guess is that some of those things have happened. But the police, I think where the frustration is that the police are acting like it hasn't, and that we're trying to track down these whereabouts. So then your families are under the impression that okay, no one's coming forward and nothing's happening. The families, police investigators have to give some faith to the families that they're going to keep some things confident, in confidence as well. That's where that whole trust is built. We're going to give you guys some information, but we're asking that you do not be talking about this because it's going to hinder our investigation. But we want to include you guys in because you guys are the family. Those type of lines of communication, I think if they were there, then, Kaylee's sister isn't out and about talking to the media. Kaylee's dad. But that relationship isn't there. And so that's why things have gone the way that they have. Again, welcome everybody. What is good here? Go ahead and check out this video.
Yes. And can I add chicken to that?
Of course. We're doing death by garlic with chicken, 5 cheese with chicken. Anything else?
That should be everything.
Love it. $23.
Okay, right there, you see where Joe's facing? Joe isn't seeing anything that those girls are doing. So, talking, totally looking the other way.
Have, any NFC go Ben, any whatever.
So please explain to me how anybody could come out and say that Joe saw Kaylee's screen. This video, I went ahead and I dropped it and I said that, this is the proof that these two guys are talking. they're not looking at her phone screen to be able to say, no, she was taking a picture of this or that or the other. It's right here. So this dropped a little bit ago, but here you go.
Love it. $23. Do you guys have any NFC go-go Ben? Any whatever
Joe V is engaged with Hoodie Guy the whole time, not looking at them whatsoever. He moves his head for a split second, and that was like an upward left movement. That is normal body movement when you're talking to somebody and you're just like looking off, gazing, and it's just a quick to the left movement with your head. Normal body language. Joe V did not see Kaylee's phone screen during that time period. It's
Can I add chicken to that?
Of course. We're doing death by garlic with chicken, 5 cheese with chicken. Anything else? Love it. $23. Do you guys have any NFC go-go Ben? Any whatever
Joe V is engaged with Hoodie Guy the whole time, not looking at them whatsoever. He moves his head for a split second, and that was like an upward left movement. That is normal body movement when you're talking to somebody and you're just like looking off, gazing, and it's just a quick to the left movement with your head. Normal body language. Joe V did not see Kaylee's. All right, so there you go. That is just, we can just put some rumors to rest. I mean, there's the footage. If you think that he saw it, okay, like, does he even motion to signal, like, hey, they're, like, trying to take a picture of you or something? No, none of that's going on, because he has no idea what's going on. But that's it. That's all there is to it. Does Joe have anything to do with this? No. Sorry, guys. That's not what this is about. Moving on. Here we go. I think that you're going to start seeing more police movement in terms of, I don't even want to say the word canvassing because that should have been happening, but they need to get down and to speaking to people that were friends, and guess where that needs to start at? You need to start with the roommates. The surviving roommates would know who these people hang out with, okay? Have they been around? What had changed before then? Who would normally be out with them? But to sit here and say that you don't know where Xan and Nathan were between that time and that time, I don't buy that. So, again, this is following up from stuff that was talked about yesterday. Again, Showalter's social media, he had a very limited presence beforehand. Okay, now the family has gotten involved where, like, they have, privated all of their stuff. Again, gave a shout out to True Crime Unraveled. Here's some credit. Check this out. Again, this is footage from the day of the first, the day one of the investigation. So go ahead and check this out. Now, there is no sound with it, but I'm going to show. This starts off from the ground. And the first thing that I did with this is I went ahead and took a peek at the type of vehicles that were parked along the side here. That first SUV right there, that is an unmarked police vehicle, that SUV. It's parked up a little bit and off, but right here, you could see it. It's like darker gray. Now, right here, you see in your screen here to the left, you're going to see a vehicle enter right there. So again, this is a regular vehicle, regular plates. Right there to your left, it would have entered in. And then right behind it this is where you're going to have the crime scene forensic, photography team, basically. They're coming in there to take pictures and put all of your evidence markers down. That's what's happening. These are those two vehicles that pull in. This is day one. As you can see, you don't have really neighbors lurking around. It's very quiet, Again, hello to everybody in chat. Glad that you guys are here and with us. So, a couple things that I wanted to show with this is just the presence of, you don't have a bunch of students standing around. You have very minimal people standing out. It was very quiet. Very quiet. You have right here to your left, you have a camera crew right there. Again, this is day one drone footage of the investigation. Okay, this is rear. Right here, two women here, they're getting their gloves on. And this is day one of investigation. They're getting their gloves on, they're grabbing their kits out. Okay. What they're doing with their kits, you're going to start seeing. They're going to be starting to take out they do have their cameras. Because what I can notice is in this drone footage, once it moves out and to the right, that there is no evidence markers. The yellow evidence markers, they're not down yet. So, even more so that this is authentic day one footage. Again, this is the vehicle they came in. The vehicle here to the right that just pulled in before it. I believe it's one of the investigators that had gotten out. But again, they're in, they're not marked vehicles that say Moscow police or forensic, nothing. I mean, you gotta just think about it though. This is a smaller town and 25,000 residents, 11,000 students, 12,000. Right there, there's some flowers that are right there. I don't know if you guys saw that. Right here, they pull away a little bit. You can see those flowers laid there, right there. So, right here, we're going to move a little. We're going to start moving to your left and then right. The big thing I was looking at is I was looking at the vehicles that were surrounding areas because, what vehicles were around there? Who do they belong to? Was anything out of the ordinary? This would be all things that you would probably be showing the surviving roommates. Does somebody normally park here that wasn't there? Things like that. It's also hard to do this when you have surviving roommates that are in shock. Totally aren't, you can't just sit somebody down and just be like, all right, let's, have at it. So we're going to go a little to the right. Now, something that people should have already noticed is you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars and you had 6 people inside. So I'm sure people have already thought about that, but you had 6 people, 4 that were ultimately fell victim, and then the 2 survivor roommates. So there's 6 people, but there was only 5 cars there. There's a nice aerial view there just to kind of see the layout. People that haven't really seen this layout and how the house is tucked. Now, when we come over here to the right side of the house, the drone does zoom in, and what I started to pay attention to was, can you see anything like, somebody that would have left out the slider? Is there blood droplings? Is there, blood on the glass slider? Anything like that? And the answer is, truthfully, you can't see that from the footage when it zooms in. And I know people have talked about the whole ladder on the left-hand side here. The ladder, in my opinion, has nothing to do with this. That ladder is remember, they don't have a garage, so where do you want to throw a ladder? I think they were using that ladder to honestly put up their lights that they had dangling around the outside in the back. Again, your typical college house here. I give the girls credit. They kept their rooms nice and tidy, and then I was like, okay, well, they lived their best life. They wanted to do things how they wanted to, and they had fun doing it. All right, take a look here. We're going to get a little closer. People have talked about these stools that we're going to zoom in on. These stools, it's been rumored that the girls put these in there. No, this is an actual, right here, I'm going to stop it. This was law enforcement, okay, putting these this way to, again, they're preserving their crime scene. As you can see right before it got a little lower, you can see the red tape is already up to do a seal. And law enforcement is who put those extra, the stools there. No one's getting in here. We're preserving a crime scene. That's what that is. Because let's also use our logic here. You can't possibly put those in place like that, after you've left. And when you're on the other side, if you're like leaving as the perpetrator, how do you put that? How do you put that up there? All right. There we go. Sorry about that. Let's see. Here we go. Again, This is all that this is this is police officers putting up those stools after the fact, again, to seal and to keep their crime scene intact. What's more, I guess you could say what I focused in on was looking around to see, you can't see certain things, like exactly, there is no blood, there is no prints, there's nothing on that glass. So we don't know if that door was just left wide open when they left. If they opened it when they came, kept it open, and then therefore they wouldn't have to touch anything. Well, if I'm 100% wrong, then I guess I'm 100% wrong there, Edward B. Guess we'll find out, won't we? Where are those bloody footprints? Where is any blood over there? Where is any evidence markers down yet? Also, oh wait, there's the most important part I wanted to talk about. Right here. You can see the chain fence. Right there. Okay. Let's take a look. You'll see it here for a second. You can see a little bit of the media back over there in the left corner. Right here. And boom. You see that fence right there? Looks to me like a fence. What does it look like to you guys? Right there in the bottom corner. All right, here we go. Back on over. Again, you can see that there's no yellow markers anywhere. It's going to zoom in up here on the top level to where the curtains are. Did the killer clean up after they left? I mean, again, these are all things that we don't know about, but it's just simply taking a look at this. You're just getting a feel for. This was day one of the investigation, and this is rare footage. As you can see, how do we know that it's day one? This is how. This is how right here. They are pulling out their camera gear. They are part of the forensic team that does the photographing for the crime scenes. That's what those two women are part of. Is there, so right there is entry point 2 and 3, and obviously the first point of entry would be around the front. There is a door there. So do you have windows as well? Absolutely. But I think what this drone footage is kind of showing us is nothing's broken right now. We can't see anything that's broken. We can't see anything that was, a rock was thrown through it or anything like that. But remember what they were always saying, that this was like the most gruesome scene. So much blood. And you can't see any footprints. You can't, are we, HD watching football on Sunday with this footage? No, but it's at least enough to see that nothing apparently sticks out to the point of, oh my gosh, can you see that? Oh my gosh, can you see this? Again, I use this footage to look at the cars that were surrounding the area. Is that are those normal cars? Should I go like right? Yeah. All right, so that was the drone footage that I wanted you guys to see. I'm going to take a look at chat. What do you guys think? Again, chat moves quickly, so I do apologize if I don't get to see what you say to highlight it. But well, Royal Collective says that they believe it's not a student. Think about this. If you're a hunter, you know how to clean things, don't you? You know how to hunt. You know how to also clean. Because aren't you supposed to clean your meat? Just saying. What was with the ladder? Maybe this would be purely speculatory, but they don't have a garage. And so the ladder, in my opinion, it's a bunch of females that live here, and what girls love to do is they like to decorate. So they have this ladder, so they decorated their place the way they wanted to, but then they also used lights to put on underneath and around the back part of the porch. So, and you can clearly see, this is a house that you hang out and have get-togethers at. So, nothing has been talked about if, as far as doors locked and stuff like that. Are there any suspects? No, as of right now, there's not any suspects. Jetta from Texas says, Lana, I think that they left their shoes in the house and wore a victim's shoes out of the house. Well, that'd be very interesting. As much as somebody would think that's smart, it's also, you're leaving behind, your shoes. Let's see here. Escape route from every bedroom window. Not sure about Xana's. Yeah, couch, cylinder, ladder, block. They're saying that there was not. There was not. Wilton asked if there was SA, and the answer is, according to authorities, no. Edward B. asked, how did you get this drone footage? I stole it from the police department. I just went in there, Edward, and I just said, let me have all your footage. Just messing with you, Edward. Just wanted to shake your tree a little bit there, buddy. Welcome to Truth and Transparency. Yeah, it's actually in the description of the video. True Crime Unraveled. A gentleman had been so kind to share. The other thing that I wanted to talk about after if anybody else had questions about this, anybody want to see more of a certain area. The other thing I think I want to show one more time is, right now you don't see any of the yellow evidence tags. Right now it's going to be 50-50. You either can think that they locked their inside like this, and this is what they did at the end of every night. And this is something that's very easy to be, asked to the surviving roommates, hey, is this how you guys would do extra security with this slider? And then it's a simple yes or no. I believe that this was to secure the scene, to help protect the crime scene inside, that nobody could go in. But right here, where they're just arriving, and right here, they're your photographers. They're part of the forensic team. And I think there's a really good shot of when she's really getting into, let's see, I think it's right about here. Right there. Right there. There's your shot. They're getting ready to do the photographs. Okay. So they're getting ready to tag stuff with the evidence markers. Thank you there, Vicky. Where'd that go? Thank you, Vicky, so much. Very kind. Thank you. So, it's, as far as like the FBI taking over, I think where they have the FBI in place right now that's where this is located, is very close to a neighboring state. So if someone's crossing state lines, things like that, the FBI is there to assist. Not necessarily does anybody have to take over. It's just, they said it best in their press conference that, do you have all the available resources? And they basically have everything that they need. So I don't think it's about egos here in terms of like, Moscow police wanting to do this or anything like that. That's not what this is about. I just think that Kaylee's dad's, spot on when he says that there's no experience. This is not something that they handle on a regular basis. And I don't want this to not be solved and the people held accountable because of lack of experience. And I'm telling you, it has to do with the lines of communication. No parent is going out and doing these things and reaching out to the media if, trust is built. So you talk to them about some things, and if those things get out, I mean, he basically said, like, very key words, leak. Nobody can say that I leaked anything. I earned, like, I paid for that funeral. So I think his words were very, very well used and to the point, and he's a grieving father, and things aren't sitting right. And he believes that people were, quote unquote, cleared too soon. And I went back and I showed it in my previous videos. The police were using those exact words, cleared. And then there's people out here that are going to say, like, well, that's just a police tactic. You watch that guy talk. He is red in the face. He's not comfortable. The police chief, he is nervous. I mean, this is not something that he deals with. This is horrific. Okay. But do I think that it's a tactic? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So we're going to actually talk about the actual arrival of the food truck. This is something that I think people need to talk about more, and that is when they arrive there, they arrive at the same time, but they're arriving on the left. When you're watching the video, okay, they're arriving on the left side. But then, the girls leave because they have a ride that's waiting right there on that street. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that area. But the hoodie guy, why didn't he go back the same way that he came if in fact he had a vehicle right there on that street and like he was like their ride or something like that? Or if in fact they had walked from, the corner club. The hoodie guy, he takes about 8 steps and goes completely right down it's not even a street. And I can pull it up here to show you guys where he went, because this is a point that I think a lot of people are missing about everything that surrounds that. Yeah, I never said that her dad was nervous. The police chief, when he's speaking in his pressers, yeah, that's who's nervous. He's all red in the face when he's answering his questions. And he doesn't know the answers to things, and he says those things. I don't think it's a guy that's up there using tactic to say, oh, we're clearing somebody even though that's our main suspect. I don't think that's what's happening up there during those pressers on November 20th and November 22nd. So just going to make sure that that's clear. Her dad is not nervous at all. Her dad is very clear with his conviction of that he is on a mission, and don't make him be the alpha. You guys step up and do it. If people are cleared, what's their alibis? Somebody drove home in the middle of the night to, their parents or a possible cabin or wherever. It doesn't matter. Okay, well, do you have geolocation on their phone hitting off of telephones, like towers? Or do you have them getting gas and they're 400 miles away at, what do you have? Who's clearing people within a week? That's the issue that the family has. And I stand with the family on that. You want to clear people publicly? There's no reason to. You don't have to clear anybody publicly. All you have to say is, we can't talk. I can't answer that. That's part of the investigation. I can't answer that. But it was like that press conference was all about the university being able to speak. Okay, big money in the university, and then ultimately trying to say that the roommates had nothing to do with this, and the hood and person at the food truck has nothing to do with this. It's like, wait, what? How, where? And then the follow-up question is, well, who made the 911 call? Whose phone was used? And the guy's like, well, there was people there. We don't know how many. And to this day, right now, I don't even know who was all at that home. But you've cleared people. No, you just started gathering information. You're not even to the investigative stage. We are simply, right now, guys, we are gathering information, and all the information that you can give us as the public, we are taking. But right now, we are in a gathering of information stages. That's where we're at. But when I'm talking about nervous, don't know how to approach something like that, yeah, because there's no experience behind something like that. But when you use policy and you do the same thing, whether it's for a carjacking, whether it's for, if you stick to your policy, that's why fundamentals in life are so important. If you learn the fundamentals of a sport and you master your fundamentals, that's what's going to be able to make you, an amazing athlete one day. If you lack fundamentals, your game is going to break down in very crucial times that you need it, when you're playing better opponents, okay? When you're up against something that's way bigger than you. If you don't have your fundamentals down, okay, you are going to fail, period. So processes, policies, doing things a certain way matters. And I see that in a lot of these situations, the fundamentals are lacking of how you would do something, and go by how you've been trained. And because you could say, well, no one's ever trained me that how to do what. You're doing an investigation. That investigation should not change if it was somebody that, stole someone's bike, but your fundamentals shouldn't change. And that's unfortunately what you see across the police stations nowadays, is that there are no fundamentals because people just do whatever they want and no one's held accountable. Well, get back to doing things the right way, whether it's for something little, because when it matters in something that's big, this won't happen. But let's see if I can bring this up. Hold on one second. All right, here we go. Check out the screen now. Right here is between this blue car and this green car. So we're going to turn it like this. Okay, right here. This is where the food truck was. Right here between the blue car and the green car. All right. This is where it was located. Now, take a look. The girls and him, see this tree over here to the right? They come from this side. Okay, they place their order over here. He's standing back over here. You can, see the blue in the background from, I think it's like Hodgins or Hobligans or something like that. Then they have to move from being over here to this side of the food truck. while they're waiting for their food. Okay? Now, take a look at what this is. Over here on this side, this is where you can pull up, all right? And you can park. And then you get out of your vehicle, all right? And you go and you walk on the other side, like how they did, like how you can come from this way if you parked over here, or if you were dropped off and somebody was driving this way and they dropped you off, then, you know what I mean? But if the girls, in fact, and him, so they're right, here's the food truck, they come from over here, but they're coming from it like in like a diagonal way. It's not like you can see them. See this path up here where these people are walking? The video would have caught them if they were like walking on the sidewalk like that. They came from being from the street. And that would either be that they got dropped off in a vehicle, or that there was like actually a physical car that ended up parking there. Well, how I ruled out the fact that there was a vehicle parked there, okay, would be, so check this out. They leave and they immediately just run like this way. He takes his steps because he goes like this, and he immediately makes a right going right down here. So I want you to take a look at what this is. This is, you cannot drive over here, but this is like a little alleyway to walk. And all back there, that is where people park for these businesses that are on Main Street. Okay? So when you're on this street, you have this little bit of parking here. Okay, that's like off here on the sides. But where the parking is actually behind these buildings. Okay? And that's where he goes. He makes his right. So we're at the food truck here. That's right where these cars are parked. The girls, they get in their ride and they come, boom, like they're getting into someone's car, or if somebody was pulled off over here. He goes and he doesn't keep on walking that he's straight on this, continues on Main. No, you can see him if you actually watch the whole video. He goes right and goes right around that corner. And so I said to myself, where's he going? Well, I'm going to show you. The only place he could go, now think about it. He's got more money than God because he uses his parents' money. So he's not going to walk, you guys, 31 minutes. I'm sorry. Just why would he do that? He doesn't have to. You have money. You just order an Uber, you know? Unless your vehicle is actually, you have to go, this is a one-way street. Make a left here, but on this is where you would get to. This is right behind it, and this is where all the parking area is. All of this right here. So this is where that, well, let me go back. This is that alleyway right here. That's that alleyway that you would come down, because you can only drive up to this point, and then it's all walking. And that'll bring you right up to Main Street, and if you make a left, right there's going to be that food truck. He made his right to come down this alleyway. Why? Well, because I believe his vehicle was over here, right? I mean, why would he go there? Why wouldn't he just wait there on the side, call an Uber, and stand there and wait on Main Street? Why would you go away from where the best spot to get an Uber is? Okay, but what's over here is, there is some residential because the apartment's up top, but there is the parking. This is where you park, okay? Right here. These is where you park for stuff that's going on over there. But the thing that doesn't make sense is when they arrive. When they arrive. If in fact he drove them, okay, and they parked here, okay, the way that you would walk is you would have walked up this and then made a left right there, and you would have been seen coming on the other side of that food truck. So, the other thing that could make sense is that if you started off on Main Street that night and you were down here for whatever reason, and then you walked to then corner, you know, and then the girls were talking about it, that they were going to walk because they were going to go get food, and oh, hey, I'll walk you guys down there. Who knows? But all I can tell you is what doesn't make sense is him coming this way when they had came from the other side to actually be there. That's what doesn't make sense. But hopefully that, you try to do it the best you can to break something like that down and explain that. But it's hard to do, but this is from where they came into the stream. So here, I'll try to show it like this. Let's back this up to, okay. Here, Plunder, we'll give you some love. See over there, see how the camera would get it if you were walking up to it from and using like the sidewalk. Just like if you're going to be coming from the sidewalk on the opposite end, like this camera gets you walking on the sidewalk. And they're not seen. I went through the whole thing. They're not seen walking. Okay, but remember the guy, the food truck place, he thought that he had recognized, they thought that they were there earlier, and he's like, oh, welcome back or whatever. This is, that's always been something that's been interesting to me, is he says, welcome back. So, I'm going to go through it, one more time. But what's amazing to me is that they come from a wraparound up top, which tells me that they're coming from the street, and he's right there when that happens as well. Okay, so if you came from over there, but then when they leave, they go kind of like the same, they're just leaving on the opposite side of the truck, but they still go the same way that they came. He doesn't do that. He comes from, that streetish area, like right there on Main Street, not down either sidewalks that you can see. And then, so did they do a share ride? Did somebody, did he jump in a car like, oh, hey, well, I'll drop you off on my way to my house, and he took the ride with them there? Because because I could see this. Oh, hey, you guys can come with me. I'm heading home, so I'll just drop you off. That way you guys don't have to walk. So then all three of them got into a vehicle to then come down here, and that person then, but where he walks after, he makes that quick right, and he's back over going towards those parking lots that are on the back end, which is interesting, because you'd have to look at, well, where is Corner Club from there, and wouldn't he be walking, if in fact his vehicle was at Corner Club, wouldn't he walk there to go get it? So anyways, again, I have to keep these right around an hour. Hopefully this broke down some things a little better, but where the questions should be had right now is in finding out how Kaylee, Madison, and Showalter are literally where they're at, at the same time when they're walking, and where they appear right, just boom, in the screen for the food truck place. Because he does not go back that way. It's like, if his vehicle was over there, why are you going this way? And the only other thing that would make sense, if you were trying to totally avoid these cameras, that you would have the wherewithal, or whatever he was telling Joe in the story, because he's a big bullshitter. Oh yeah, I'm here just making sure that these girls get home okay. Like, they're my neighbors. I'm just, looking out for them. Who knows what he was saying to Joe, but I can promise you, he has a story. He has a story. So again, go ahead and take a look. Maybe I'll do a video to break it down, even, in more, bits and pieces. But it's interesting to me that they're arriving and not coming from either side walked. Like, it's just like what I just showed you guys. If you're getting dropped off about a vehicle and you can just pop off like right up on the side of the truck because you just crossed the street. So, but I'm trying to make sure I can explain that if you were walking there, you would, you're taking the crosswalk over and then you're making a right and then you're going to be seen on that camera coming right up to the food truck. But that's not how they're seen. None of them. So, again, you guys are awesome. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up on your way out, or thumbs down it if you ain't a fan. Make yourself known either way. Thank you to the moderators. Thank you to the members. Oh, if you are a member and you missed it, there was a members live that dropped at noon today. There was a live, so go check it out. In the member lives, you just get to, it's more in detailed stuff. So yeah, consider being a member. Again, thank you guys. And be kind to one another. Take care out there. Thank you, chicken head. I gave Kathy a call, or Kelly a call, Miss Showalter, because I think that it's important if they want to clear, their son and him, they should have the same type of platform as anybody else. So I just really want answers for this, for Kaylee's dad and for the other families. And if there's a way that people can help that have platforms, and this requires a lot of manpower. So if there's just ways to, hey, help out and you can do it respectfully and within the guidelines of, the terms of service of YouTube, within your civil rights. I have the right to speak on things, but I also don't have the right to, bash or degrade people. I don't think that that's what this is about. To me, this is about, man, if you guys knew my dad, saw my dad, he is literally, that's Kaylee's dad. My dad would do whatever it took, but he would feel the same way. Like, if he thought that he was getting the runaround, he wouldn't let money or people trying to push a narrative and push certain things under a rug. Like, no, this is my baby girl. I brought her here to this university to get her the education from this place, and you brought her back to me in a box. Like, that's always going to stick with me. So, because it's the truth. But yeah, thank you guys so much. All the subs. Yeah, we hit 10K. It's a pretty big accomplishment considering all the bogus scandals that YouTube creators have tried to toss my way, and I've had to be in legal battles. So I just want to say thank you. I do believe that I have some talents and I have a passion, and all I want to do is be able to use my nonprofit, a 501c3, to help people. And I just love that you guys are all coming out and being part of it, because I'm telling you, cases like this, manpower, like, you just don't have it. Like, it's gonna, how long it takes to go through everything? It takes a long time. But guess what? If there's people out there like me and like all of you guys that have time on their hands, hey, go ahead and check this out or do this or whatever, helping with the intent to help, there's nothing wrong with that. So don't let anybody think that whenever you're trying to help, if your intentions are right, you're not wrong. So, hey, Nancy, want to give a special shout out to Nancy, because guess what? Some of y'all don't even realize it, but you end up having a membership because you can buy memberships for other people. And so I just want to say, Nancy, thank you so much. There's been so many people that have been able to enjoy the extra bonuses and perks, and you've paid for it. So that's awesome around the holidays for people to have that. So thank you, Nancy S. Very, very much. So, all right, guys, go rock your day, and we will definitely speak soon. Until next time.